Welcome, curious minds, to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a plunge not just into an old story, but into the really unsettling relevance of one of Shakespeare's most famous, maybe most chilling tragedies, Macbeth. Our mission here on this deep dive is really to pull out those core ideas that just keep echoing. We're looking at ambition, that pull it has, and how power can corrupt. And then there's the guilt, that heavy weight, and, well, the whole slide into disaster. It's not just the plot, it's what it says about us.
Exactly. And we're going to trace that transformation, right? This brave warrior. How does he get turned? What are the forces, the sort of subtle nudges and the big shoves that lead him down that path? And what does it do to him psychologically? We'll pull out the key insights, helping you understand the big moments and why they still, well, why they still matter.
Okay, so let's get into it. We're heading to Scotland, misty moors and all, where fate, or maybe something else, starts to twist everything. So where do we begin? Macbeth is, he's a hero at the start, isn't he? Loyal, respected, just won a major battle for King Duncan.
Absolutely. He's the valiant general. Everyone admires him. But then comes that stormy night, that encounter on the heath. He and his friend Banquo meet these three witches.
Oh, the witches, and they hit him with that prophecy, don't they?
They do. It's incredibly potent. They hail him. Thane of Glamis, which he already is, then Thane of Cawdor, and finally the big one. That shalt be king hereafter.
And the crazy thing is, almost immediately, messengers show up.
Right.
And they tell him, guess what? You're the new Thane of Cawdor. King Duncan's given him the title.
And that moment,
Yeah.
it's absolutely pivotal. It takes this strange, possibly hallucinatory encounter, and bam, instant confirmation. Part of it came true right away.
It's a plants a seed.
A really dangerous seed, yeah. Electrifying thought. If that part's true, then maybe the kingship is also meant to be. It's that first push, making him think about destiny in a whole new, ambitious way.
And speaking of ambition, that leads us straight to Lady Macbeth, doesn't it? She's such a fascinating character.
Yeah.
He writes to her about all this.
And her reaction is just immediate. There's no hesitation, no real moral questioning like Macbeth has later. She sees the prophecy, sees the path to power, and she's ready. Instantly.
She's got this cold, calculated drive.
Totally. Utterly ruthless. She's willing to do whatever it takes. She even calls on spirits to unsex her, basically asking to be stripped of any compassion or remorse that might get in the way. It's quite shocking, her focus.
And she gives him that advice that really sums up their plan. Look like the innocent flower.
So be the serpent under it. Exactly. It's all about deception.
So you've got Macbeth, who's clearly wrestling with this, the idea of killing Duncan. He's horrified by it initially.
He is. He has doubts, fears, a conscience. But Lady Macbeth is relentless. She questions his courage, his manhood. She pushes and prods until he finally goes through with it. He murders the sleeping king.
And he becomes king.
He does. The prophecy is fulfilled, in a way. But the cost, it's immediate, isn't it? The internal price is immense. Shakespeare shows us straight away, this isn't a victory that brings peace, it brings torment.
Yeah, the crown is won, but any sense of peace is just gone. How does that start showing up right away? Especially for Macbeth.
Well, almost immediately, he's plagued by guilt and paranoia. He can't sleep. He hears voices crying, "Sleep no more." Macbeth does murder sleep. He starts seeing things, like Banquo's ghost later on.
So it's not just feeling bad, it's like his mind is actively breaking down.
Exactly. The guilt isn't just remorse, it's this corrosive force.
Yeah.
It twists his reality, makes him suspicious of everyone, fuels this growing tyranny. He's got the power, but he's lost his own peace, his own self.
And Lady Macbeth, she seems so strong, so determined at first.
But she unravels too, just differently. We see it in those famous sleepwalking scenes. He's trying to wash imaginary blood off her hands.
Muttering, "Out, damn spot, out, I say."
Yeah. It's like the guilt she suppressed so fiercely is erupting from her subconscious. Her initial strength just crumbles under the weight of what they've done. It shows that even that kind of iron will can be broken.
So they both break, but in their own ways.
Right. His guilt leads to more violence, more tyranny, trying to secure his position by eliminating threats like Banquo, like Macduff's family. Just spiraling deeper. Her guilt turns inward, leading to madness and despair. It underlines a key insight, really. The power they grabbed offers zero protection from their inner demons.
And as Macbeth gets more paranoid, more bloody, the world around him starts pushing back, doesn't it? Rebellion starts to stir.
It does. People see the tyranny. Yeah. And Macduff, Well, Macbeth has given him the ultimate reason for vengeance by slaughtering his wife and children.
Such a brutal act.
Absolutely horrific. And that Macduff becomes this figure of righteous anger. He joins forces with Malcolm, who's Duncan's son and the rightful heir, and they gather an army to take Macbeth down.
Which brings us to the final showdown, Macbeth versus Macduff.
Yes, and this is where the witch's other prophecies come back in a really twisted way. Macbeth has been clinging to this idea that he's invincible because they told him, "None of woman born shall harm Macbeth."
He feels untouchable because of that line.
Exactly. But then Macduff confronts him and reveals the catch. He declares he was from his mother's womb untimely ripped.
Ah, so born by cesarean section.
Precisely. Not born in the usual way. It fulfills the prophecy's words literally, but completely undermines the meaning Macbeth took from it. It's a brilliant, chilling twist, showing how those supernatural predictions were true, but deceptive. Fate, or maybe just clever wording, isn't straightforward.
And that breaks Macbeth's last shred of confidence.
It does. He realizes he's been tricked, in a sense, by these ambiguous prophecies he put so much faith in.
And Macduff kills him. Order is restored. Malcolm takes the throne. The tragedy concludes. So looking back at the whole thing, what are the really big takeaways that stick with you?
Well, there are a few huge ones, I think. First, just the sheer danger of unchecked ambition. Macbeth isn't born evil. He's a good man who gets tempted, makes a bad choice, and then another, and spirals down. This is a powerful warning about how ambition, if you let it, can just consume everything.
Okay, what else?
Second, definitely, the consuming nature of guilt. We see it destroy both Macbeth and Lady Macbeth, just in different ways. It shows that you can't just commit terrible acts and expect to live peacefully. The psychological fallout is devastating. Then there's the whole question of fate versus free will. The witches plant ideas, yes, but they don't force Macbeth to do anything. He makes the choices. He chooses to kill Duncan. He chooses to kill Banquo. The play suggests we're ultimately responsible for our actions, even if external forces nudge us.
Right. The witches might open a door, but he walks through it.
Exactly. And maybe the last point, the real horror. It isn't just the murders themselves. It's what happens after. It's the paranoia, the isolation, the complete loss of humanity in Macbeth.
Yeah.
Seeing this noble man become a desperate, blood-soaked tyrant. That's the deepest tragedy, I think.
Wow. And it's incredible, isn't it? How relevant that all still feels. 400 years later, you still see these dynamics playing out, the hunger for power, how people justify actions, the way ambition can just warp someone's conscience. It's timeless.
It really is. Shakespeare tapped into something fundamental about human nature.
Well, this deep dive into Macbeth really highlights just how much depth is there and why it continues to resonate so strongly.
So, maybe a final thought for you, listening, to consider. How much control do we really have? When faced with temptation, with the lure of power or desire, how much of our past shaped by external forces, like those prophecies, and how much comes down purely to the choices we make in those moments?
That's a great question to ponder. We encourage you to keep exploring these powerful stories, stay curious, and think about the narratives that help us understand ourselves.